I thought of covering this particular subject, I guess, when it comes to choosing a flight school, as you can see from the title. And the reason is because a lot of you have reached out to me to get my opinion about a school and maybe just recommend a school to you. And I get that a lot. And I wanted to share this on my channel. I've covered these videos or this topic in the past, and that's because I know it's a very important subject. You're going to be spending a lot of money going to train at a school. You want to make sure that the school is going to provide you, what you went there for. So in this case, the training, get your certificate, and hopefully move on to achieve your goals and dreams as a professional pilot. But here's something that I want you to understand. The first thing is there is no perfect school out there. And due to that reason, you will have a lot of concerns and worries. And of course, you would have a lot of doubts. But another thing to also remember is that because there's no perfect school, there's a chance that you will go online to read reviews and go to all these forums. And trust me, it only makes things worse because generally bad news spreads faster than good news. So majority of the time, a lot of people that go to the schools and perform well don't go out and put out their reviews about the school majority of the time. And to be honest, majority of the good reviews that you see out there are generally put out there by maybe people that work at the school or people that have just benefited from the school in some way or the other. Or maybe the school has actually just paid people to put good reviews out there, depending, right? The first recommendation to you is to look at the program that you're interested in. Are you interested in a Part 141 program? Or are you interested in a Part 61 program? On the other hand, you also have the option of going to a college or a university that actually provides you a degree program along with your training. And then you get your certificates as well. Now, all of this will have variety of costs associated with them. And that means that, depending on what you have available to fund your training, you have to choose what suits your needs. I have covered the differences between Part 61 and 141 in the past. The simple difference is this. A Part 61 program has more flexibility and you can, there's no formal structure per se that you have to adhere to. Unlike a Part 141 program in which the school is required to actually train you based on the curriculum that is approved by the FAA. So in this case, if you had someone that is maybe much older and you have a lot of responsibilities in your life and maybe you work as well, a Part 61 program will work for you, especially if you are, say, a citizen of the United States or a permanent resident. On the other hand, for someone that is coming internationally, generally speaking, they want to start you on 141 program, generally speaking. But you can also do a Part 61 program as well. But the reason why you choose a 141 program is that you have a stated duration of time on your I-20, and your goal is to be able to stick to that program and complete your training within the associated time. The second recommendation that you want to consider after you've thought about, the school itself and the program is, consider the area in which the school is located. For example, if you are in a place that you live currently and you're close to an airport, then maybe that may be convenient for you. On the other hand, there's no point in choosing a school that is, miles away from you or thousands of miles away from you. Because if there's a school next to you and it still gets the job done, you may just choose that school for that reason. Now, for international students, you may have to consider the specific location because, of course, you don't want to choose an area that you won't be able to train majority of the time. You're coming to train and your time is very limited, so you want to be in an area that is suitable for flight training. So in this case, good weather all year round if possible. I mean, there's no good weather in every places, but majority of the time you just want a place that has enough weather so that you can train on a regular basis. The other thing that you also want to consider is safety. Now, when it comes to safety record of flight schools, it's important because your training will be conducted at a school that operates airplanes, and you want to have a school that has a good safety record. And that is why it's important to look into the safety record of the school. And good thing about this is that you don't need reviews from people. You generally can just go on Google and just search safety records of X, Y, and Z or the name of the school. And trust me, you will find a lot of articles if things have come up in the past about the school, accidents, incidents, things like that. You'll see a lot of information on that online. Now, in all of this, you'll notice that I haven't mentioned cost. And that's because cost is sometimes very variable depending on so many factors. For example, you may choose a school because you think it's really cheap and affordable, but guess what? You start your training and things start to unfold. Maybe you are struggling through training. Maybe they didn't include some extra charges in their training cost, which actually one of the things you have to consider is consider if that cost of training includes all the things that you expect to pay for. Because sometimes they will only quote you just the bare numbers. In this case, the check write fees are not included, the books are not included, and things like that. So you want to make sure that you get the full picture of what you are actually quoted, because you may think a school is cheaper when in reality they've just removed those extra charges. And cost shouldn't be the first thing you also consider. As we know, flight training is already expensive, and the goal is not necessarily to save, $2,000 here. I mean, yeah, $10,000 might be a huge difference for sure, but remember, don't let cost drive you to a school. Now, this next point should focus more on the people and how the school is actually established. In this case, is it well established, well organized, and does it have enough people to run the school? In this case, do you have enough instructors that are available to train you? Are those instructors actually training students? That means, are they actually available to train people? The last thing you want is to enroll in a school and then you realize that their instructors are oversaturated. In this case, they're just working with a lot of people and they don't have enough time for other students. Or sometimes they have instructors, but they are not available because some instructors do work part-time. Now, along with checking out the school, check out the airplanes that they have. And this is where, paying a visit to the school goes a long way. I'll be honest with you, when I chose my flight school, I didn't have the luxury of visiting the flight school. I was in Nigeria. I didn't have enough money to fund just visiting the school and then coming back and then deciding to attend the school. So I honestly just chose the school based on, of course, some information that I was able to gather, the questions that were answered by the school, and I was just trusting at this point. But I'll be honest with you, if you have the means of visiting the school, then I would say do so. It will go a long way. You'll be spending a lot of money, and a cheap ticket to visit the school may just be the best decision ever. So check out the type of airplanes they have, the number of airplanes that are available, because you also don't want to start training and realize that you don't have enough airplanes available to train on. The next advice is to harness the power of social media. When it comes to interacting with the schools, most of them do have social media accounts that you can always reach them on. The other thing is you can always find people that maybe attended the schools and you can get a good feedback from majority of them. Now, I'll also be careful. The feedbacks can be subjective. So you have to be careful because I've gone to the same school that I went to back in the days. There were a lot of people that had negative things to say about the school. But at the same time, I had a great experience and I was able to achieve the goal and dreams that I wanted to achieve. So sometimes you have to take some of the things that you hear and see online with a pinch of salt. Is that all right? That's how they say it. But anyway, I just wanted to share this information with you guys. I hope that you found value in this one. If you have, don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach me on my social media account, Instagram to be specific. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next video.